welcome everyone. So today we are going to showcase some of our research about the new foundations. So let's get started. So we'll quickly go through the overview. I bet all school districts and has their agency, all CCTR, CSPP, you hear, right? So basically they are CPing, California Preschool Initiative of Learning Network. They actually offer, CPing actually offer a lot of training as we speak, right? So from late October all the way to January, every region, right? You have a designated coach, right? So they have a webinars, likely is a 100 registrants per session. So you may, you need to go early, right? To learn from those theory about like a new foundation, how they break that down. Here we will go through more like the core of the changes, right? So we are not focusing on what is the same. We want to focus on something new, and also we want to show you what we can do to explore anything new. After the session, you will feel very confident that we are able to navigate, right? We can actually help our teachers, our coaches to navigate that. Okay, so about the key changes, right? Key changes. So according to our internal, right, and our research and looking, we're watching all the updates from CDE, right? So literally, yeah. So the big thing said adding TK. So it actually aligns well. So align well with the kindergarten common core standard. So the reason for that is really more like for the whole P2-3 alignment initiative, right? Trying to build a pre-K to third grade. So it's not only adding more standards to K, but also DRDP 2025 is coming, and it will be aligned as well. Uh, and also a little bit more about 2025, right? So maybe some of you already in the pilot. If you are piloting, maybe you can put a name there. So we are really, you can give more insights, okay, about this DRDP 2025, and I guess a lot of people will be interested. Um, so 2025, as far as we know, is trying to make also direct assessment available, which means, okay, you have a language and the math. The two domains that used to be like a core, right? Common core from K-12. Those have opportunity to do direct assessment. So being said, okay, direct assessment versus observational based assessment, you probably don't need to create observation, right? You can direct assess. You have a sets, right? You work with individual child to work on whether they are able to accomplish those ratings. But for approach to learn, right, and social emotional, they are still like other domains are still observational. Okay. For this new foundation, there's adding a new approach to learning domain. But that's actually most of us are familiar with that. But it's new to all K-12 because this is a super important executive function domain. Now it's actually will bring to the all the way to I think the third grade, like more like school age. They will have this domain, right? So I believe it's a very good thing, right? So if we can measure or teach those standards about how to be curious, right? How to be persistent, how to solve a problem, right? Those are, I would say, just a lifelong skills. That's actually very good. Okay, that's actually they have this domain and we can build, right? In the lesson, we are building the units of lessons. Here, age labels is very clear. We are able to navigate, right? So for younger group, like a 3 to 4 years old, CSPP, CCTR, right? And also later foundation, that's actually towards so TK, right? And the most important is 45 new standards, right? 45. So we actually did a map. Okay, maybe for Daniel, you can send the link into the chat so everybody can have that more like a file. How we link that together with the PTKLF versus CAPLF. So also, okay, a big thing referred to the the diversity, equity, inclusion, which also here you probably also the other priorities from CDE, right? Culture responsive practice, support for multilingual language learners, and the inclusion for children with disabilities. Those are all like in under big umbrella, so it's represented in the body of this new foundation. It's more like fully from UPK requirements into the foundation, so that become expectation. All agency should support that. Those are like hard, right? So, but we are showing you likely after this session, you may find lots of tips that maybe your agency can be very well able to practice on that with Learning Genie tools. Um, Here are the domains. I'm just skipping that. Okay, we all know that. But where we are at this 45 new standards, right? New foundation, new standards. So we it's being break down into all domains. But here you can see approach to learning. There are 7, right? Persistency despite difficulties, working memory, flexibility, planning, reflecting and analyzing, problem solving together, understanding others. Those are the executive function, very basic skill set, but really, if we are able to teach those standards, right, and incorporate that into the lessons, that actually is a very good thing. But I would say just it's not so easy, right? So how to teach a persisting and despite difficulties, we can show you, right? We can show you in a minute. But also here, foundation language development, you can see actually a lot more are going into phonics, right? So it's more like aligned to another big initiative in many different states, right? So science of reading, like isolating initial sounds, right? Recognizing blending sounds, learning letter sound correspondence, and the like decodable text and all those like those are in the original standards. So here are a big driving into this phonics, right? Phonological awareness in the phonics. Yeah. And also here, English language, that's a similar, right? This is a echoing this language domain. But also for social emotional development, there's one new managing routines and transitions. And for math, there are quite a few, right? There are 5 new domains. Sorry, 5 new standards representing data, interpreting data, identifying 3-dimensional shapes, comparing 2-dimensional shapes, and the mental rotation. So it's more about the 3D, like really the geometry. And here, science. Science actually quite a bit, right? So a lot of new standards about content standards, right? So here the 1.4 to 1.9 are the skills, right? Defining problems, planning, carrying out investigation, mathematical thinking, analyzing data, but yeah, formulating, communicating, explanation solutions, right? So those are actually very useful processing, right? Like really a foundation for future exploration, math and science. But you can see here more towards the content concept, the standards, right? Light, sound waves, energy, heritage, and trace, engineering, design process, right? So those are actually probably you need to find new content. If you already have, that's no problem. But here probably we need to find new supplementary content. And then you have a domain in health, bodies, right? And also HSS. HSS has also quite interesting addition, right? And the gathering and using evidence, creating representations, membership in communities, showing care and offering help, group decision making, developing solution, and taking actions. So those are actually, well, I would say very focused on many are very useful skills and how eventually teacher are teach those skills right into everyday lesson. NVPA. Okay, I'm not going to go deeper into that. So that being said, okay, we do have this document alignment old and new. So that's in the chat. Okay, but we also did one file is more like alignment of PTKLF with DLDP. So this is DLDP 2015. Most of us are using 2015, but the new foundation is just released, right? So still like you are using the 2015 to do your assessment this year. But we are showcasing actually the DLDP measures and the and also this California the foundation. Okay, so 1-to-1. So literally we have a link here. We can send the slides over, but we have a link here. You are able to to download as well. So that will be a very helpful tool. Okay, again, so about how to navigate, right, PTKLF. So it's kind of that's a new thing, right? We all are learning, lots of training about those new foundations, right? You break that down into definition, into what are the typical example, how you can build that into your lesson. So CPing is doing a lot of training, but we are going to showcase some of the work. Okay, so literally make the training, make the PD, right, can be with the teacher, right? And also here we want to showcase, okay, as an opportunity, right? So literally AI is becoming everywhere. So Learning Genie has been serving, right? Many of you use the parent progress report. You're already using Learning Genie's AI, and we use Open AI, right, as the API. So we call them, but we will do a lot of prompts preparation. But that's actually that's actually for the report. But here is more like we are showcasing that you can use the power of AI and combine the standards, right, including the foundation and understand also DRDP, and how does that can serve teachers, right, to understand with the context of your lesson, right? So we probably after this we can see like, oh, it's irrelevant of which content, like really content, it can be building different skills, different domain with one lesson idea, but you can build a ELA, language foundation, math foundation, and approach to learn. Depends on how you are unpacking this lesson. You can really focus on various foundation skills you want teachers to teach and making it to examples, but eventually you want teacher to assess, right, to evaluate. So here, so this too, we actually working with a lot of programs already. Many teachers or coaches, admin, and they give a lot of feedback. And so far, it's actually working, very magical, right? It's working with understanding PTKLF and understanding DRDP, so you can really plan, help people to plan and understand. Okay, and also here, another big piece is easy to incorporate with current lesson plans. So that being said, okay, you are able to leverage on AI's the ability to understanding standards, right? You can consolidate some of, if you already have a activity from the various curriculum, right? You can adapt, right? Change that, or maybe the main idea of the activity. Now you can actually build that with the new foundations. Meaning, okay, the original one may not represent with may not have any indicator how that being aligned to the foundation, PTKLF foundation, but now you can actually using the tool to align that, not only align that, but really make it have the tips for teacher how to implement, right, the new foundations. Also want to focus is more like this give a huge opportunity for co-design, right? The teacher and the students, right, child-led. So what is child-led? A lot is about their interests, right? So teachers are searching for, currently searching for activity that will meet their interest, but now actually they can, right, do that together, but also adhere to the foundation, right? So it's very, very interesting, right? You can actually based on any of the content, but really when you insert foundations, you're able to see, oh, edit the context of this lesson. this is how I'm going to teach my kids to learn those skills. Okay, and also this will do all the planning work, automate that, and it will also can do this individualized classroom needs. Okay, so this means actually we are going deeper one level, help classroom to adapt to, okay, maybe their IEP kids, their cultural responsiveness, like a different, children speak different home language, how we can bring their culture to them. Actually, it can be done as well. So very quick about this whole process, right? So we actually been working on this project for more than 2 years, and there are early contributors, right? Like here, Dr. Lisa Kaufman being a leader from San Francisco County, right? The director of their early learning department, and the educare found like executive director. Dr. Natalie Sear has been a West Ed researcher trainer and being a Stanford Lab School director. And we do have a Pedro and Janti are the professors, right? Pedro is at Mission College, Janti is at De Anza, and Janice is a teacher in Chula Vista Unified, and here me and also Coco. So we actually collect a team to have from a researcher, right, to teacher, to bring those experiences together, and we work with AI, right, and also trying to get AI trained better to understand the age appropriateness, understand the standards. There's a lot of like 2 years of work okay, putting there. But we do have all the reviewers from various colleges. They are reviewing the units we created. So yeah, it's been a quite extensive network of supporters. But also I want to showcase, okay, this work is evidence-based, right? So you all are looking for like a research-based, right? So actually, if you understand like evidence-based is more like versus research-based. Okay, research-based is you claim you are research-based because we base on the research, we build something. So our tool is built based on California Department CDE's like a preschool curriculum framework and the foundations, right? But the evidence base is more of a third party, right? To research your work, right? See the build evidence to support whether it's working or not. So it's called ESSA, right? ESSA, Every Student Succeed Act. Now require like PE to 12. Most of the intervention tools curriculum need to show evidence indicating it does actually show the pro impact, right, for teachers and for student outcomes. So we have been working with Johns Hopkins University in the past more like 7 or 8 months. No, actually starting in January, right? In the past 10 months. We reached this in the summer research. We finished this as tier 4, which we have a report. We can also share with all of you about okay this more like you can see, yes, seeing the AI, but AI, is that effective, right? So how does it work? So this first report is released already, but we are working with also one of our partner school district on as a tier 2, right? It's more like a random pseudo randomized control. So control group and versus intervention group want to see actually, right, with the better understanding of the foundation, make teachers supporting teachers on teaching the foundation better observation and also supporting IEP students. Will that actually make change impact? Okay, so that's actually the thing. Yeah, so here more like let me going back. Okay, what we provided here really emphasize, right, state standards alignment, right? Really it should, number one, right, reflect details about standards and make it as authentic alignment. And the customization, it should be working for your own children, right? It should be the AI should work really for your own class needs, including your IEP students and children speak different language or they have a different cultural background. It used to be like so hard, right? Very difficult how to find the resources for them. But now, yeah, so AI should really bring that easy together. And the teacher, yeah, their job is to be teacher in the loop, right? Human in the loop, trying to vet whether they are good or not. And I would say 90% are very, very high quality, but they can still like work with the tool to really make that fit right in the classroom. Yeah, and the huge benefits is all about like they can be. I would say just it's about time. Okay, right now to before May, right? So it's a lot of PD, right, is happening about new foundation. All school districts, uh, agency, right, CBO. You guys are all probably have a team, admin are working on understanding, right, sending people to CPing training. But teacher need to actually can expose should start to expose, right? And sooner or later. But now, actually, we're demonstrating probably you can really focus on the key standards, right? Maybe you can run through the standards, build some exercise for the teacher to get them familiar. They can experiment that in the classroom, and then ultimately save the time, right? Save the time for them to prepare, right? And also not only prepare for the general classroom, but they can make the meet all the new other priorities, right? Your inclusion classroom needs, your culture responsive needs, right? So your and supporting like a foundation to DLP. Okay, so here's more like an interface, but we will do a little bit deeper in a few minutes, right? And I also want you to have your wish list. So we will do something really interactive, and maybe we can mimic, okay, a child-led approach, like you are pretending to be, hey, yeah, we're building something like together as a group, child interest group. Okay, so here is more like the interface, right? So many of you probably see that before, maybe not, but we actually make it's continuously evolving and make it very solid and also relevant. So here's more like a weekly, right? It's a weekly plan, right? So so you are so this interface with a calendar, you actually can now move around with all the units it can build for you. You already can have a large group, a small group. But also one cool thing is about you are able to see the whole, right? The entire foundations being listed per week or per unit. So that it's so it's transparent, right? So what are skills we are teaching? So now it's everybody like it's uh, to reduce the alignment work, right, from your current curriculum versus versus the foundation, right? So yeah, they can adapt, right? Whatever your current idea, your content, you can do that. Um, here's one more zooming into that particular lesson. So you build, for example, you build a multi-week unit. You have selected different foundations you want to you can select, right? Literally you can select all the new foundations to build an experiment. But this is one lesson. You have you will have the standards, right? All the DLP, we can turn on that. You can do back and forth, you can check. But also you will have like material list, implementation guides. So give a teacher a very clear list of things to do, especially for substitute teacher, for new teachers, right? They are so easy for them. Hey, they turn on, they can do the research. But one thing I want to emphasize, very effective, and also this is the key. We call that, why we call that, you can have probably a PD, right? In every lesson. This is a foundation, right? Planning foundation, group decision making, representing data. That's what we have seen previously. Those are something new this year. So we can go deeper, right? So these are the tips for teaching a standard, teaching that foundation under this lesson environment, right? So for example, planning, that's the foundation we want to teach. Then for this penny shopping, right? Pretending we are doing this shopping, yeah, in the classroom, right? You have this environment. So here, encouraging children to choose 2 items to buy and help them plan the sequence of their purchases, guide them to count pennies for the first item and then the second. Or they can also ask children what will you buy first and why, and to prompt them to think about their purchase order and the developer planning skills. You can see actually we put that foundation into the context. The teacher don't have to correlate again, right? What this foundation and what are the opportunity I need to insert that. It's not limited, but really give them the opportunity, like really they can use already. Okay, let's have another one like representing data. That's a math foundation. Okay, demonstrate how to use uh, tally marks to record votes for each item. Guide children to draw marks on paper, showing them each mark represents one vote. Create a pictogram with children by helping them place a picture of the item next to tallies, reinforcing the concept that each picture stands for one vote. So more like I think this is more like a representing data is one way to showcase how this data and the table that actually correlate that information, right? So how to teach that to represent data in this particular context. So we are showing them. And here also like universal design for learning is a big part is probably you heard, right? In the UPK requirement, you want to use universal design for learning to support IEP students and support inclusion classrooms. Yeah, so what UDL mean, right? You are supporting them with multiple way of learning and a different model of learning, different model of assessing. UDL actually mean quite a lot. It's way beyond just that. But really, in the real classroom, inclusion classroom is help, right? Prepare more like have the time, right? Working with maybe special ed teacher or maybe just a teacher without so much support, how they are making, right? Understanding their needs, right? For example, autism, for example, Down syndrome, they all have a unique need without so much of their like medical knowledge, right? As a special ed knowledge, but they can still have create environment, right? Create for individual support. That's actually this paragraph will can show you, right? Actually, will support them with this context of a lesson, what need to prepare, what need to do. Yeah, that being said, okay, that's another piece, but really, you give all those tips, right, for teacher, if they are not quite familiar with the foundation, doesn't matter, right? You can understand the concept, but really they do that by, they actually learn that by doing or by exploring, by reading many of the samples, then they can develop a quite good understanding. Okay, yeah. So also I want to show you this whole work, right? Is more like a multiple steps, right? So we always want to have, right, the maybe curriculum team or maybe a teacher, right? Maybe lead teacher, always like that person in the loop. So we design with the like obviously you want to be intentional about what domain, what foundation to start. Then we can generate lesson components, right? Like trying to scaffolding the supports for, providing support for the multilingual learners, and also customize the lesson. And also here's a step-by-step guide. I'm not going to play, but when we send this, we will do something live today. But this is actually we did a 6-week unit. It's actually already available on us on the platform. So 6 week is all about like uh, uh, all the new foundation, 45 new foundations. Somehow we try to make one unit so that if you don't want to build your own, but that actually available. It's actually pretty cool. Let me just, so yeah, before we jump into maybe we play that together, we can see that. Okay, so we can kind of come back. Okay, so what this do for our teacher? Really, it's a more like how we to support teacher, right? So get the more teachers to be aware of the new standards, right? And also try to explore that, right? Try to explore the new standards and try to explore how what does the impact for the observation per lesson. And also supporting intentional teaching. So here's one more thing. It's more like, yes, intentional teaching. Not only we call that prepare. Right? It's not only the prepare how to build play, right? Build learning into the play, but also build lessons, right? Based on the key measures, right? We identify the needs, like learning gaps from the LDP assessment data. focus on their development needs. So that's also like you can actually build that in and then do more, right? So you can build more of those opportunity, right, for the kids to experience and then play, and then yeah, the more you actually work on that, and they can develop a deep more encounters or maybe practice more, then their level skills will be for sure, right? They will improve. That's more like how we identify those and intentionally have a more opportunity to expose. And here is engagement tactics, right? So what we say that's, oh, yeah, we really want to like child-led, right? So in the new foundation, new PTKLF, UPK requirements, right? So a child-led is a huge component. It can vary from maybe 50% to 70%, right? That's actually what it's being listed. So it's a lot about your environment, but really also you can build things or activities that truly they have interest and become a more like a have an opportunity to become emergent lesson or emergent curriculum. Also, we can talk about co-creation. Actually, we can do that. Yeah, so we do have a major curriculum contest. Many of you please do not know. We'll come back later, but really it's promoting everyone trying to have have a teacher. They can enter to win enter to win a gift card, but also they are able to play exposed with the new foundation. So probably you have worked with some of our team member. They show you, okay, LearningGenie has something called AI unit, but really I'm really want to focus on what does it do, right, for our exploration for the new foundation, and demonstrate one way how we are actually using try to do the child voice, okay, the student voice, the child-led approach. So I'm opening a document here. I want our team, okay, the attendee, maybe you can give some idea. Okay, what are maybe give me three. I want three volunteers. Okay, anything you want to do for the month of December. Any if you are doing some units, right? Any units you want to be a little bit more creative, please help here. So what I'm doing here is more like trying to mimic a child-led approach, right? So kids will have a lots of questions, lots of idea. Yeah, I want to take some volunteer. Anyone want to come? Okay, fallen leaves. Okay, okay. So this is more like I'm mimicking that. Okay, so um, I'm trying to gather the ideas from like children, like from your classroom. Any other ideas? Give me two more. Okay, please. Anyone? Caring for pets. Okay. Sarah. Oh, Sarah. Okay, giving kindness. Okay. Okay, I have three. Okay, thank you. So now, okay, so here we have three. Okay, let's all try to vote one. So this is one, right? This is two, and this is three. We can in the classroom we will build. Okay, we will start to build uh a unit together. Okay, following children's need. Okay, so we're going to the snow. Okay, going to the snow. We'll add more, like going to the snow. Let's all starting to vote. You can vote 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I want to see like your group voting, like just mimic. Okay, all kids are, hey, well, we want to do like pass math thing, and yeah. Okay, have a yeah, uh, have a okay, have a tie right now. Let's give maybe 5 more votes, and then we can count. Okay, anyone? Okay. All right. I have 3. I have okay. Anyone? Okay. All right. So I think we have more 3 more 1 and 2. Okay, maybe 3. We have 4 threes. So we just do the giving and kindness. This is a bit hard of giving kindness as a guiding. So later on, I'm trying to do this more like a guiding questions. Like really, the kids want to know about special thing. I want to do this caring for pets. Okay, I think this is more easier. Okay, so I'm opening up, okay, for your questions. Okay, so if we want to do this theme, okay, caring for pets, what do you really want to know about caring for pets? Anything like really, you just use your wildest imagination from your classroom. Okay, can connect. Oh, okay, okay, connect kind of for care. Okay, we can do that. Care for pets. Oh, with giving and kindness. Okay, let's do that. Okay, all right. What do they eat? Okay, pets need. Okay, what do they need? Okay, what do they eat? What do they need? Okay, what else? Like any, yeah, let's have a few more questions. Like so it's mimicking a real classroom, right? In a okay, what kids will, oh, very good. Okay, we have pass versus non-pass. Oh, cool. Okay, about pass and non-pass and how big they are they, how do they show kindness to people, how do you show kindness? Okay, awesome. Those are very good questions. Okay, how big they are, we just but I will say I don't leave any kids questions unattended. I would just put them all. Yeah, they're all good questions. How many kids have dogs versus cats? Oh, wow. Okay. And they live, oh wow. And they've all the climates, and why do people have oh, a wonderful question. Living on non-living. Okay. I don't know what this, okay. What is an emotional support pet? Oh wow. Okay. All right. So I think it's good. Okay. So okay. How do they help us? Okay. How do they help? How do pets help a human? Okay. Pets help us. Okay. Maybe living on non-living is a bit living non-living pets. Okay. Um, so here, we will, okay, I will want to show you how I'm going to use this child-led and also child-led approach. So we can build a unit here. So because you can have your own units, right? You have your own already you have your own scope and sequence, your curriculum, but you can also try, right? To supporting a child-led approach, right? And how like really I'll just use this moment. Okay, so please build a unit with the following questions. Okay, I just do a copy paste. Actually, a better way is that you have more time. You can think deeper, and also we do have assistant here. You are able to have your one idea of all the books you want to introduce. You already have the Paw Patrol or many other books, right? You want to do in the environment you already have right here. I'm doing this for, right? Number 4, outline students' preferences, for the design of this unit, right? So we can do that. So now for the 5, okay, we can choose the TK. Okay, we can do maybe 2 weeks, okay, for this caring for pets with giving and kindness, okay, kindness, and also we can here do foundation, okay, foundation. More like we can let it to AI to select a few foundation, like if we want to do foundational language development and also science, right? And also approach to learning. I think maybe we can do that, but also in another part, we can also really zoom into we can actually build a lot of new foundations, like you can see like yeah, maybe we can do that, working memory, managing uh managing attention distractions, right? Foundational literacy, listening and speaking. We can build all those standards in, like using the vocabulary, asking questions, uh constructing narratives, right? So also we can do maybe some foundational literacy, isolating initial sound, maybe, okay. And also we can do science, right? I don't like it's a life science, right? It's life science and the characters of living things, living and non-living things. Okay, yes, I think we have a very good. Yeah, you already know, like habitats. We can also building live needs of living things, right? So it's awesome. So we cover many of the foundations. Maybe some social emotional, self. Okay, maybe not so much empathy and caring. Okay, understanding. Okay, empathy and caring. So we can just, hey, these are the priority foundation I want to teach, right? And then you can also localize. Okay, localize. So we can pick a local place. Okay, I will pick Carlsbad, which is our headquarter. We have Carlsbad, yeah, but it can be your local. The reason for that is that it will reflect, right? In California, you have a coastal area, you have desert, right? You have Central Valley farming area, so it really can build something local for you. Yeah. So here, okay, right. So we demonstrate we are building a children's child lab, but also we are selecting all those new foundations. Okay, I want to show you how it works, and this is more like our units, right? We did that together for 2 weeks. So we make it bigger. In this unit, children will explore the concept of caring for pets with an emphasis on giving and kindness. They will learn about the needs of pets, how to care for them, and the difference between pets and non-pets. Through various activity, will develop a sense of empathy, responsibility, and kindness towards animals. That's the overview. Oh. All right, they have a picture. And the related concept the children will explore concepts related to basic needs of pets, right? Food, shelter, warmth, and the difference between pets and wild animals, and the idea of living versus non-living pets. It will also delve into reasons why people have pets and the concept of emotional support animals. So you can see a lot of your questions, right? Kids, like they have a wild imagination of a different question. They see their question being actually addressed, right? And the skill sets, right? So show the empathy and the basic understanding of animal care. So it's more like standards, right? And the asking questions, sharing experience, expressing their thoughts and feeling about pets. So those are some of the foundation we are building in, right? And the for principal practice strategies or the practice will teacher will use an experimental inquiry-based approach that includes storytelling, hands-on activities, and real-life examples. It will include caring for classroom pets if available, visiting local animal shelters, inviting guest speakers. Yeah, so if you don't have that, right? So you don't need to have, right? Yeah, I'm not going to visiting. It's more like a, yeah, just something like in-house. The teacher will incorporate multimedia, but you can, right? If you can do that, go lead them to a field trip. Definitely, you should go for that. If not, I'm showing you. I don't have a resource. I will remove that, right? How they're social emotionally being guided, supported. It would be supported by encouraging for empathy, kindness, and sense of responsibility towards pets. Group activity and discussion will foster cooperation, understanding of different perspectives. Role-playing scenario will help them practice caring behaviors and develop problem-solving skills in pet care. Yeah, and then here are the concepts: basic needs of pets, pets versus non-pets, emotional support for animals, and kindness and responsibilities. And the guiding questions are: what do pets need to stay healthy and happy? How can we instill kindness to our pets every day? What are the difference between pets and wild animals? And why do people have pets? And how do pets help us feel better? How can we make sure our pets are comfortable in different weather conditions? So I actually incorporate more of our ideas, right? All the kids' ideas here, but then we're building into different weeks. So step by step, right? You can see here, you can see it's allocation of the standards, right? Per week, but you are able to do that. Uh, yeah. So you can also incorporate books here. If you don't have that, then that's fine. But if you do have a few books you want to introduce, then you can add here. So the first week is meeting our flurry friends, and then caring with kindness, and then yeah. So it's more like a unit overview. For the sake of time, I want to show you something really cool, right? So even like you zoom into the details, right? You will see, wow, all those the foundations being how the teaching tips for foundation, how they are being shown. Okay. But before we do that, you can see like, oh, we do have a DEI overview. So this is more like we are, if you have received a lot of training from CDE, right, with the colored boys, right? That's a book about the DEI, how to emphasize on the implicit bias, right, and show love and strength for the community. Yeah, so this is actually a core of that book, and we actually work with a shorter version to let AI to understand and put that with the context of the unit. So we have lots of reflection questions if we want to zoom into that, and especially for teacher working with friends and family, how they are going to reflect and build that. And also for admin, actually, admin may have it's also admin for family, but also for staff, right? Your staff, they have a different ethnicity. They can also review, right? Working with this different staff to reduce the bias, right? So this is DEI per unit level. Very cool, right? That's actually what CD actually are pushing lots of efforts to build your awareness of the DEI, how to bring that into the classroom. But hey, let's look at this weekly units again. Back to this meeting our flurry friends. So we actually have 5 lessons, right? We have meet our flurry friends, pet needs and wild friends, and that's 1 and 2, and caring for our pets, right? And also question and curiosity. So each one you have standards, right? But you can also edit, right? The description. So we haven't built the details yet. It's not there yet, but you can select those large group or small group, and then you can build more measure, right? If you want building, I would say, hey, I really want to add asking questions specifically to this standards to this lesson. Let me do that. Okay, so they can confirm, right? And they will go detailed. So every time, right, you are able to human in the loop, right? And also we want to represent the really dive deeper into the standards. Okay, I want to show you, here are the standards. So for this, the first one is meeting our flurry friends. Children will explore different types of pets and their needs through read aloud and discussion. They will expand their vocabulary by learning new words related to pets and practice asking questions. Through a role play activity, they will develop empathy by caring for stuffed animal, understanding how to meet their needs and comfort them. So it's more like so actually we are introducing a book, The Perfect Pact, and so Perfect Pet by March. So we are able pet food, yeah. So more like it's a read aloud. Actually, we do have a preview of that book.
Guides for women. Jewelry.
It's on the on YouTube.
Simon's
Okay.
Hello, amazing third graders. Okay, this week's read aloud is The Perfect Pet by Margie Palantini.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So actually, it's yeah, it's a read aloud book, and it's actually she's introducing to third grader. But I think it's for 4-year-old or 4 to 5-year-old. They are, I would say, yeah. So I'm not going deeper, but I think we want to see how she's unpacking that book. Okay, but here are some of the details about that. How teachers are asking questions when using the book, right? And how they are writing down, like guiding them, divide small groups and distribute, like do this animals to talk about the past. Okay. Very important thing. Okay, so here we remember actually we selected those standards, right? So how we are introducing a concept, but really how to teach the standards. Teachers need to know, like, oh, how I can introduce that. Here are the tips. We call that PD here, right? Working memory. During the read aloud, pause and ask children to recall what paths were shown in the book to strengthen memory retention, right? While role playing, have children remember and perform the steps to care for their stuffed animals, reinforcing memory through action. So that's how teachers are showcasing, right? How, like, exampling, right? How they do that, and then we can do another, like SED, empathy and caring, guiding children expressing how their stuffed animals might feel, helping them connecting actions with emotions, observe and note when children offer comfort to stuffed animals, providing gentle feedback and reinforce empathy behaviors. So yeah, so this is more like how we model that, and then children will kind of encourage to practice on the standards, right? So literally we'll bring the standards, right? The definition of standards, but how that work with a lesson, right? So actually it's not just lessons, it's actually for each lesson. So we actually are showcasing here also IED here, but we are actually bring that to we can adapt it, right, into each individual. Really cultural responsiveness, right, with the with like Spanish and also Chinese and the different language, but they can also adapt to their own language and bring the what this concept in their own own culture. And if there are other books that may be showing up, then they can bring. But this is more like the same book. But here, okay, the typical behavior. This is more towards familiar with the standards, but a later version will come up with alignment with the RDP. So so a little bit like standards in the foundation and the DRDP are different, right? So they have a correlation. So we have the mapping here. So AI will read DRDP instead of this foundation, but really this is a same, like really help you, right? Help a teacher if they are observing how child behavior will look like, right? For working memory, child memorizes a sequence of steps need to care for stuffed animals, right? They recall and follow instructions given the teacher during the role playing. So those are indicating they have a working memory, the standards being represented, right? Being they can observe, but really what we observe will be DRDP. So again, DRDP, we just swap, right, to a DRDP of domain and measure. So we'll have exactly the similar concept, right? It will help teacher to create some samples for them to do observation. And then also we have at home, but this can be done, right? So every single lesson, it's very actually, I would say, here you just see we are able to do quite a few standards, new foundations. But here we have a other new foundation, like understanding of using vocabulary, living and non-living things, right? And the empathy and the caring. So literally, you can see when we are introducing a concept, we are building their ideas, but we are also very much like adhere to the foundation, adhere to the standards, and you can showcase that. Yeah. So teachers don't feel like, oh, they are left alone. They can actually truly, right, doing learning by doing, right, and that they can have a systematic learning. But when they are introducing this to the classroom, or maybe just in your internal group setting, they can truly understand, okay, what this foundation is about, how I'm going to bring it to them. Okay, all right. I think I'll pause here, and so really want to go back to the original slide, okay, regarding the PTKLF competition. So Daniel actually put something here. We actually introducing this context, and really would like to all, if you can share with your teachers, right, and the coaches. So it's open to everybody. A lot of you probably do not know. So it's under, we probably need to have the link, right? It's called Magic Curriculum, Learning Genie, right? So all the first 100 participants will get this, and then they can join the test, and they only need to do their Google email, Gmail. They are able to get in, right, immediately, and for example, very quick, right? So they will, they can, they probably need to ask me to, I just put my name, right, Learning Genie, and Genie and the role teacher, big teacher. Okay, and then they are getting into account and my entries. So what we do, okay, so very simple. It's a similar thing you can see. They can use, like, go to the foundation. Foundation has been selected, right? PK, or they can do the CSP, like a CSPP. So remember, we have a later stage and the early stage. They can all go together. Meaning, okay, when it's selected PS, then being said, okay, the foundation, the younger foundation, younger young child foundation, like 3 to 4.5 years, will be incorporated, right? You don't have to worry about which one, because we match by age group. So once they actually done with, when they plan, they are able to submit, and then they can enter into the whole whole competition. And I do believe below are all different participants. Wait, where are the contest entries, right? So we already have a lot of yeah, so we can we have a lot more. They get votes, and we really want you to yeah, introduce to your teacher. And so this is actually the same thing. They can experience the foundation, right? Experience the understanding the foundation. And also, oh, one more thing, they can download everything. Yeah, one click, they will be download the whole units they created. Yeah, for whoever enter into this, they can all download everything, right? All the details about the lesson, about unit, everything they can bring home. And I do contribute to all the entries, right, to the California teach educators together. That's actually where all the open sources. So we do hope, okay, our TK teacher can collaboratively, right, building using a creative idea, but explore the new foundation and yeah, contribute to the to other TK teachers or CSPT teachers. Okay, yeah, we love you to share, right, to your teacher and participate. Yeah, so we have gift cards, and the good things are we want them to have experience to explore that.